All right, let's start on number 1. Let's put y'all's phones up, please. All right, so what is the problem with number 1? Just like you can't have a square root on the bottom. See that over to Ashton, please. Just like you can't have a square root on the bottom, you can't have an I on the bottom of a fraction as well. So do you guys remember from last year how to fix this? All right, let me show you. You got to multiply by basically the opposite of the bottom. It's called the conjugate. Not that you necessarily need to know that word, but the conjugate of 1 plus 3i is 1 minus 3i. And you write that on top and bottom. So we're going to have to full out the top. The bottom will be a lot faster to full out because we know the middle is going to cancel. So let's full it. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6i. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4i. All right, here's the trick. I got negative 4i times negative 3i is positive 12i squared. Now look at this one. What does that I squared do to that positive 12? Turns it into negative 12. All right, so what do we have on top? We got 2 minus 12 is negative 10 minus 10i. All right, now the bottom's going to be a lot faster and a lot easier. Any question about the top? Ashlyn, does everybody see how I got minus 12 down here on the end with the I squared? Because remember, your I squared turns into negative 1. So I had to make it a negative 12. All right, now look, on the bottom, guys, all you have to do is times the front numbers. That's 1. And times the numbers on the end. That's negative 9i squared. All right, Alex, what's that negative 9i squared going to turn into? 9. Everybody understands how that's plus 9? Bottom is 1 plus 9, which is 10. All right, look at your fraction. What can I divide all 3 numbers by? 10, final answer, negative 1 minus 1i. All right, I'm not a big fan of these, but like I said, we do have to know it for Friday's test and the final next week. I think I'm only going to have 4 of these on Friday's test. And most of them are not this long. One's probably unusually long. All right, so let's look at the second one. You can't have an I on the bottom. So, Ashlyn, what do I have to multiply both sides by to get the I off the bottom? All right, look, it's easy. The bottom, you just flip the sign in front of the I. So we're going to use 2 plus I, 2 plus I. All right, so all y'all have to do is flip the sign. It's called the conjugate. All right, y'all full the top, do the bottom. Let's see what you get. Let's do the top. 2 times 3 will give you 6. Plus 3i minus 2i minus I squared. Hunter, help me out right here. I got a minus and an I squared back to back, Hunter.
That means 1.
Yeah, because that's a negative times a negative. Because isn't I squared negative 1? So that, Hunter is right. It's just going to be a plus 1. So the top is 6 plus 1, which is 7. I got 7 plus 1i on top. All right, and the bottom shouldn't be anything that hard or that long. All right, I got 4 minus I squared. Hey, we just did this. What does minus I squared turn into? Because that's a negative times a negative. That's just 4 plus 1. Got 5 on the bottom. If y'all get anything other than that, let me know and I'll fix it. Anybody got a question on 1 or 2? Now, these are going to get a lot quicker, but these were pretty long. 1 and 2 were. All right, let's go to 3. 3 is one that's going to be a lot quicker. All right, what will we multiply both sides by on number 3, if you had to guess? Look at the bottom. What we got? Negative 2i, so we'll just times by positive 2i. All right, and this one should not be a problem at all. All you have to do is distribute the top. Go. All right, so I got 12i plus 10i squared. Luke Hall, what's this 10i squared going to turn into? So y'all got 12i minus 10 on top. Everybody good? All right, the bottom's gonna be quick and easy. Look, that's negative 4i squared. What's that turn into? Positive 4. Now, look at your answer. Can we simplify it? What do I divide everything by? 2. Good. So 6i minus 5 over 2. All right, I showed you 3. You guys do 4. 4 should be... All right, so on the top, I got 18. I got minus 12i. Top was easy. The bottom, I got 36. Now look, on the bottom, again, we know that the middle is going to cancel. You don't have to do all 4 steps on the full. Just times the numbers in the front and the numbers in the back. All right, so minus 16i squared is going to turn into a plus 16. All right, somebody check my answer on that. Does that look all right? All right, what do we divide everything by on this one? 2. The final answer is going to be 9 minus 6i over 26. All right, 8 should be just like 7. Y'all can do that one. All right, so let's look at the top, guys. Make sure you cannot multiply these two numbers because one's a square root, one's not. So we just write 3 root 2. 3 times 5 is 15i. All right, on the bottom, root 2 times root 2 is 2. We can skip the middle. It's going to cancel out anyway. Negative 5 and positive 5 is negative 25i squared. All right, Pat, what's that negative 25i squared going to turn into? Let's look at the board. I squared is negative 1, so negative times a negative is going to make that a positive 25. 2 plus 25 is 27. All right, so we got our answer. Now, can I divide all 3 numbers by anything?
3.
Yep, 3, 3, and 3. So final answer is going to be root 2 plus 5i over 9. All right, now for the hardest one, number 10. It's just really messy. It's not much different. Look at what you got on the bottom. What is our conjugate going to be, Hunter? What is my opposite of the bottom going to be?
1 minus I root 3.
1 minus I root 3. 1 minus I root 3. All right, there's no shortcut on the top. You're going to have to do all four steps on the full. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative I is negative 2I root 3. All right, slide over now. 1 times I is positive 1I root 3. All right, and here's the hard part. I got to multiply I root 3 times negative I root 3. So how do you do that? I times I is negative I squared. Hey, what's root 3 times root 3 going to give you? Just 3. All right, Ivy, I got a negative, I got an I squared and a 3. What's all that change into when you times it? Negative 1 times negative. Negative times negative just makes that positive 3. All right, so very messy on the top. Let's clean that up now. I got 2 plus 3 is 5. Negative 2, that's minus 1I root 3. All right, so that's what I got on the top. Y'all can check it. Again, this is the longest one. Just got one of these on the test Friday. All right, now the bottom shouldn't be that bad. Let's do the bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. We get to skip the middle parts on the full. I times negative I is negative I squared. Root 3 times root 3 is just 3. And if you don't know that, just put it in your calculator to tell you. All right, Ashlyn, what's I squared turn into again? Can you see that from here?
Not really.
It's negative 1. So I got a negative times a negative, which just makes that 1 plus 3 on the bottom. So that's going to give you 4 on the bottom and you're done. Yeah, that one's really yucky. All right, we're going to start throwing a lot of these off. All right, you can start marking off 11, 12, 14, and 15. We're not doing any of those on the test. You can mark off 17 through 20 as well. So again, we are only working on the ones that we're going to have to know for Friday and for the final. So again, we marked off 11, and 12, 14, and 15. So we got to do 13. All right, 13 shouldn't be that big of a deal. Katie, on 13, what am I going to times both sides by?
Root 5 negative 2i.
Good job. Root 5 minus 2i, root 5 minus 2i. All right, y'all should be good on that one. Go.